How is everyone? First, before we begin, I think we just went through a budget, and I think a lot of you guys had time now to understand the budget, look at the budget. How many of you all had that perfect time to look at the budget and understand the budget? Did all of you do your income tax calculation with the new budget? Did you check how it impacts you? Did all of you do that? I think that's the first thing you should do, because now some people have disposable income, some people don't have disposable income. Yes, I did a recent video about the budget. It was not, I didn't like it so much, but for some set of the audience, it definitely helps, right? So I'll just show it. I don't know how many of you all have done this. You can actually go check out. Let me show you. So I do this a lot, right? So I did this first thing after that. So I went to this income tax calculator on ClearTax, choose the latest budget wala part, 0 to 60. Now I'm going to put my income details. Okay. Now obviously I'm in the 30% bracket. So my income is, how much is that, bro? I only don't know. 1 second. 54 in a year. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have any of this. I don't have rental income. I don't have income from interest. I don't have income from our digital assets. I don't have this. I don't have anything over here. Weirdly, it doesn't give me the income from long-term capital gains, but this is, I think, just for the ITR. So let me just quickly show you that. Then we have the deductions. Now assume I do the deductions. I'll do 1.5 lakhs ELSS. I do 25,000 medical insurance. I do interest on housing loan. I definitely have. Okay, I pay almost 2 lakhs, more than 2 lakhs in a year just on interest on housing loan. So I was doing all of this to save taxes, right? Because 1.5 lakhs basically is money into my own pocket, which is ELSS. Medical insurance is a given. You need to definitely have medical insurance for sure. I have that. And if you look at interest on housing loan, I have a house. I keep a housing loan going on all the time so that I build assets from my salaried income. Now, very funny. It says that you should opt for the old regime. It will provide you a benefit of 81,900 over the new regime. So even with this kind of a salary, even with the new what do you call that, standard deduction increased to 75,000. In the old one, it's still 50,000. In the new regime, it's 75,000. For me, because of these deductions that I can avail, I get it. Basically, I save 81,900. Now, assume I did not do any of this. Okay, assume I did not do. I think all of you should do this once to calculate and understand. If I don't do it, see the funny part. If I don't take any of those deductions and I just opt for the new regime, I actually end up saving 1.48 lakhs. Isn't that funny? Isn't that damn funny? So I end up paying tax due is approximately 14 lakh 76,000 is what I would pay a tax in. But again, we'll have to check in more detail, because 14 lakhs, assume that I have to pay right now. But if I add all of these other stuff as I had added here, okay. Yeah, I would end up paying 13 lakh 91,000. So technically for me, it would still be beneficial to go with the old tax thing. But again, I don't think there will be a long time for them to keep this old tax. So I think that is also gone. But I think all of you guys should just check it out only to see how much disposable income you're getting right now. Okay, chalo, let's get into the. What else? Yeah, now look at this. Post budget, Dubai looks attractive. Archil is saying. Dubai, by the way, Archil, even I had a lot of thoughts of going to Dubai and doing all of this, but I'll tell you what, Dubai is also equally screwed up. Huh? Just saying. Now, this is very, very, very confusing. Can you see the chart now? Can you guys see this chart? Can you see how confusing this chart is? Right? Ideally, this was the setup for a reversal, right? This was when the bears, this was a proper bear candle, a big red candle. This was the sign of a reversal. It was going down, going down. And then after the budget, we just saw everything starting to shoot up again. In fact, the day of the budget, nothing happened. But after people went and started reading the budget document is when people came to know, okay, fine, I think it is still bullish. It is still positive, right? So as you see, the resistance is still there. It's not over. The resistance is still there. But looking at the way the market is going, I don't think this resistance also will be there for a very long period of time. So I feel this is still going to continue going up. And I don't know. I mean, it's massively fueled with a lot of liquidity in the market, which is keeping the entire bull market afloat. Right? So Mohit is saying, bro, yesterday I have made a whole year's profit. Congrats, man, Mohit. That's damn good. Yeah. I hope you're doing it with the system, because you should not lose the whole year's profit in a single day. Okay. So this is what is going on with the entire market. Now, we definitely saw a fall on this date, right? We saw some bad 3-4% fall. I remember most of your portfolios were down 2.5% as well. And then you suddenly see after that, every bloody thing is back up. Look at this. And back up quite a bit. In fact, I don't know how many of you all remember. Do you remember RCF? Do you remember a company called RCF? Yeah. It was looking very funny and very fishy. Do you remember that? Because it went up a lot. From here, it went up without any news. It went up, and after the budget, it fell down because there was nothing in the budget. But if you actually look at it right now, okay, if you look at it right now, because in the budget they didn't talk about fertilizer at all, but very funnily, the government approved the fertilizer thing right now. Look at this. Government provides 37,000 crore fertilizer subsidy till July 22nd this fiscal. This came out right now, the news. Isn't that weird? It came out much later. It didn't come out very explicitly in the budget, but it came out immediately after that. And I think this is something that should have been in the budget, because a lot of people watched the budget and this was catered to farmers, but it never came out and it never got catered to farmers. But this came out much later. But the market had already given the rally for all the fertilizer company, and that is why you see the fertilizer company gave almost 70-80% returns in the last 1 year, right? Not even 1 year, less than, yeah, I think almost 1 year. It's given 120. It went up to 240. It gave 100% return in the last 1 year, which is insane. It should not be giving this kind of returns, but apparently, weirdly, it is actually giving this kind of returns, right? Now, what I want to do today quick with you guys, okay? Quickly, I want to look at some of the results. So now there are a lot of companies that have come with results. Do you agree? There are a lot of companies that have come with results. Now, some results have been good, some results have been bad, some results have been just weird as hell. And there are some companies that are just going up. For example, there are FMCG company is now doing extremely well. I don't know how, but look at ITC's chart. How many of you actually have ITC in your? How many of you actually have ITC? Yeah. ITC is just on a tear suddenly. It's just going up, going up, going up. But also that's because of some major news that came in very recently, right? So ITC is basically doing a massive capex of 20,000 crores. Okay, it's doing a 20,000 crore investment across its business. Across its business. Now I want to tell you why this is very important. Okay, see, there's all hidden articles, by the way. Somebody would have posted the open article. Yeah, here is the open article. Okay. Now, 35% of the capex will be focused on expanding and upgrading capacities in the FMCG business. Now, you know that ITC is a very heavy cigarette manufacturing company, right? We all know this. Their main revenue is basically from cigarettes, but they're slowly over time moving away from cigarettes to try and get additional revenue coming in as well. So if you look at ITC, they're spending 35-40% of the capex instead of coax. It is the capex to spend on upgrading the FMCG business. Maybe they will do some acquisitions. Maybe they will enter new territories, and maybe they will increase their existing production as well. They're investing 7,000 crore in paper board and manufacturing, packaging as well. That is also going to increase. Now, why is this so important? Why is this so important? Do you remember which other company recently, last year in 2023, did a massive capex across its entire portfolio? Can you tell me which is that company that did a massive capex across its entire portfolio? Basically, it did not invest by itself. It took money from one of their biggest companies and gave the money to everyone in the middle. Do you know which company that was? That was Tata. It was Tata Group. Do you remember Tata Group, right? In the last year, I think 2023, TCS made a very good revenue. Let me just go down, right? Profit and loss statement of TCS, as you can see, and I'm going down. They made a revenue in 2023 of 42,000 crores. They basically took the entire 42,000 crore as dividend, 100% of that, basically to spread it across their entire business. Now, what business did they spread it to? They spread it to Tata Power. Yes, because power was growing. So they spread it to Tata Power. So since 2023, if you see, suddenly after 2023, you will see the rise happening. Then they gave it to another company called IHCL, which is Indian Hotels. Not this. Yeah, which is your Taj Hotels. Again, after 2022, 2023, it was here, 2022, 2023. And then you suddenly see the upward growth happening in this as well. So they started investing into their subsidiary companies, right? What about Trent? Zudio stores was increased quite drastically. Again, you see no movement, not much movement till here. After 2023, do you see the movement happening? See, it is just data. It is just data. You're taking data from one place, applying it in another place, and you will see the same thing happening every single place. Right? We saw the data happening here as well. Cool. So how everything comes across is something you should definitely look at, right? So 42,000 crores has been funded into all these subsidiaries, and every company is going up. Now ITC, that is what is happening, right? Again, ITC, if you look at it, 20,000 crores coming in as capex, everyone is very happy about it, and they're saying, okay, boss, if ITC is going to get 20,000 crore capex, that means what is going to happen with 23,000 crores? There is some return on capital, right? Whenever you spend 20,000 crores, there is some kind of return on capital. It is not free money. It is not money that should be blown off or wasted. Yeah. Yes or no? So when you look at that, you will see that over time, ITC's revenue will start growing quite drastically, right? Now, is India stopping to grow, or India is going to continue to grow? India as a whole, India is definitely going to continue growing. It is not going to stop. Yeah. So if India is going to continue growing constantly, and mainly the FMCG business is run only by these guys, ITC will start doing really well going forward. So that is how you infer data from the news articles, right? Now, if you can look at the other things here, there is one more sector that is doing really well. And which sector is that? The pharma industry. Just look at the pharma sector now. Yeah, this is the Nifty Pharma Index. Does it look nice? It's definitely gone above on the RSI range, but does this look nice right now? Yeah, looks interesting. So Nifty Pharma Index is again something that is doing really well, and a lot of companies are basically going up in the pharmaceutical space, right? Now, what do I mean by a lot of companies are going up in the pharmaceutical space? Let me show you some of the companies that have actually given huge amount of weightage on this index. Nifty Pharma, by the way, was not moving at all in the last few years. After COVID time, obviously Nifty Pharma gave the run of its lifetime, right? During COVID, it just went up. Then there was a full decline of Nifty Pharma, because after that, too much supply came into the market. And after that, now it is slowly going up, right? I mean, hospital companies do really well, but pharmaceutical companies are now taking that step and going forward. Now, there was a big reason why pharmaceutical companies were not doing well. Okay, they were not doing well because of China. China was screwing up the entire market. There was a lot of inventory stocking that had happened. Too many people had too much inventory. And because of this China inventory stocking, pharmaceutical companies were not doing well. But recently, again, we will come back to data, right? Recently, there was a news where the US is doing something known as the Biosecure Act. Have you guys heard of the Biosecure Act? How many of you have heard of the Biosecure Act? No? Okay, let me just show you. So look at this. Biosecure Act that is coming up, which is targeting China, is going to prohibit US federal government bodies from sourcing equipment and services from Chinese pharmaceutical companies. Now, what do you think will happen if US, which is one of the biggest players who takes a lot of these pharmaceutical products, is going to stop taking from China? Who do you think is going to step in to start help? Who do you think is going to come back to help these people? Right? Apna Bharat Mahan. So we are going to come and start taking. So likely the shift in manufacturing from China to India is going to happen. And the contract manufacturing segment, please understand this very carefully. The contract manufacturing segment will double in the next 3 years, whereas contract research segment is going to triple at the same time. So if you look at the pharmaceutical industry, understand that in the next 2-3 years, if somebody comes and tells you all pharmaceutical companies are doing so well that their contract manufacturing is growing through the roof, their CROs is also going through the roof, contract research manufacturing also going well, you guys should be smart enough to know, I know why. This was happening long time ago. Have you not heard of the Biosecure Act? Right? That is the intelligence you should have. And all this comes only by reading. Nothing comes from Hawa, right? It's all about how fast you consume information and how fast you can take that information, digest it, and find good stocks. So now what is your next step? Let's assume you understood this US Biosecure Act and you know, Shashank, okay, I feel that in the next 2 to 3 years, not right now, it is not going to move right now, but in 3 years, this is going to do really well. So how do you make money from this? If I had to ask you guys, how would you make money from this? What would be your exact next step? You tell me. I want to see. I'm also teaching you a little bit, right? It's more about understanding and teaching, not just me coming and talking blah 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 all the time. How would you do this? What is the first thing? What would you do? The first thing that you will do is go and look at companies that are majorly doing contract manufacturing segment and are majorly doing contract research. Correct? So, Suraj, you are saying buy pharma stocks and hold, but konsa pharma stock? If you buy Sun Pharma, that might not do so well, right? Because they're into drug selling. Their major business is selling drugs, not manufacturing drugs. So you need to find companies that are manufacturing drugs, doing contract manufacturing, doing contract research, and only those type of companies will start doing extremely well. Is that correct? Is that correct? Contract research, contract manufacturing, how many facilities do they have? How big is the facility and all of that, right? Now, it has not gone up still, it is going. But you can suddenly see that all the pharmaceutical companies start going up slowly, and all the pharma index companies are also going up as well. Right now, if I had to look at what are the companies that make up the Nifty Pharma, let's understand that well. So if I go here to the Nifty Pharma index, and it is obviously going up, the top gainers, top losers is here. I will click on fact sheet. Okay, look at this. So these are all the companies that make up for the Nifty Pharmaceutical Index. I think it's a very nice thing, right? Very interesting here. And you see, obviously, Sun Pharma takes the major chunk, but there are Cipla, Divis, Lupin, Glenmark, Torrent, and some of these companies are doing extremely well. For example, Mankind is not into CRMO and CDMO so much. Mankind isn't selling off products, right? They sell products, but then Abbott is different, Natco is different. So we need to find out of this bunch, or not even out of this bunch, even if you just look at the fact sheet, and if you go deep into the fact sheet, we just need to understand which companies will actually start doing well and which companies can start pushing the index even further, right? So we need to look at all of this. Now, when you start looking at all of this, you need to understand who are the major players in this space. Now, there are two ways to find this out. Okay. What are the two ways you can find this out? One way is you go find a research report that gives you the entire history. Okay. You find a research report that says contract manufacturing companies. Okay. 1 second. And that report will give you all the information of all the contract manufacturing companies in India. So you don't have to find so much with great difficulty, right? There are other reports online which are free also, which will help you get some kind of an idea or get some kind of a thing. Apart from this, there was something else in the budget we saw regarding pharma. Do you remember what was that we saw regarding pharma in the budget? You guys remember there was something very interesting we saw. What was it? Regarding APIs. Do you remember that budget that was there for the pharmaceutical sector in APIs? There was this PLI scheme that was there, which was almost double. Remember that? I've shown this to you. PLI scheme, which was almost double, right? So you understand now that the Biosecure Act is going to be a growth trigger. Okay, I call all of these things a trigger. So Biosecure Act is going to be one growth trigger. Very good. Shashank, I understood that this is going to be a trigger. Abhi nahi hoga, maybe over time hoga. Chalo, no problem. Once the growth trigger initiates, I need to be ready with my stocks. So how do I do this? Now, one option is go through screener, go through each and every pharmaceutical company and make a problem. Or second, just go Google, type contract manufacturing report. Okay, this is what I did. I went to Google and wrote contract manufacturing India report. So there is some report on Modor. I don't know this website. It is some international website, right? But I'm showing you how I will quickly do my research. So I go down, I understand what is happening. So here only they say, if you look at the CMO report that is there, this is a paid report, but most of the information here is free, but it'll help you guys a lot, right? It shows all of this. You can start reading up. I'm only going to go through the interesting part, okay? The Indian government has established several programs. The strengthening of pharmaceutical industry initiative, PLI schemes have also come up in this point. Okay, so I'm going down. I'm going to go check which players are doing well. Okay, going down. Indian CDMO, Indian contract manufacturing market leaders. So apparently the top leaders are Dr. Reddy's, Cadila Healthcare, MSN Labs, Cipla, and Akum's Drug. Now, obviously, all of these five players are not listed, but I didn't know Akum's Drug. Do you know this Akum's Drug is actually coming out with an IPO? I just came to know recently. I think so. I saw that somewhere somebody's coming out with an IPO. I don't know if it's these guys only. 1 second. Was it these guys? I just saw some very terrible video shot by someone about, yeah, they are coming to IPO. Yeah, Akum's Drugs. I've never heard of this company. I've not done research on this company as well, but I heard this is what they're doing. They're coming out with an IPO. So now what I would do is I would go check out Dr. Reddy's, I would go check out Kadila, I would check out other players as well. But I would not depend on just one report. You will try to go into different reports, try to find more latest reports on who's talking about this. Another very interesting place to look at is trend. So if you go to Trendline, this is again a very interesting place. So if I just go easy way, I'll show you. Go to Dr. Reddy because you're in that segment. Okay, go to reports, and here usually they will show you reports of Dr. Reddy, and they should ideally show you some pharma report as well. If it's there, it's great. If it's not there, it's not there. Okay, this is not there. So let me just go to market. Let me click on reports on general. Okay, just major reports across. And here usually they will have all the reports that have come out in the recent past. And here usually you will see some pharmaceutical report that usually comes out. When the pharmaceutical report comes out, you can get the whole understanding of the entire industry. So you should keep track of all this. See, this is an aviation report, aviation sector update that has happened. That is, I think, a paid feature. So you have to keep tracking of this. Obviously, there are so many reports that are there. Look at this. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Torrent Pharma is again a very interesting company, right? So either you find this way, or you go find different kind of other research, other reports that actually do really, really well on contract manufacturing, right? For drugs, contract manufacturing for pharmaceutical industries. Or the other option is very simple. You go back to screen and start going one by one. Okay, chalo, let's look at all the pharmaceutical companies. So if you look at, just do sector pharmaceutical, so you get all the pharmaceutical companies here, filter by market cap, so that you understand your risk appetite. So I will go from the top to bottom, and then you go one by one. You open this, you open this, you open this, you open this, and you go one by one and say, okay, Cipla, what do you do? Okay, how much capacity you have, how much basically capacity you have to do CMO, understand a little bit more about the players. But this is basically a longer version of doing things. I prefer doing a longer version like this. I would usually just go find research reports that would actually help me understand what is the entire market looking like, who's doing who's doing contract manufacturing. Now, even in contract manufacturing, there are two types of contract manufacturing: one who make generic APIs, and then one who make specialty APIs. Now there's a difference in this also, because generic APIs, which is basically like anyone can make this product, it's a bulk game. So I'm making huge bulk amount of products and I'm selling it to somebody, and I get volume, but I get very low margins. Then there is specialty APIs, where somebody tells me, I want, Shashank, this exact specification, I will pay you more money for it. So my margin is more. Okay, I will do the research, and after I finish the research, I will do the manufacturing as well. So when I do research and I do manufacturing, everything starts becoming better. Understood? Interesting. So what I was trying to tell you guys is, now pharmaceutical sector is not yet taken the massive jump, mainly because the results that have come in the pharmaceutical sector have not looked very attractive even today, right? I don't know who all have come out with their recent results. We can actually check it out. Let's check out some pharmaceutical company results. The results have not looked very interesting from pharmaceutical companies yet. It has not come out yet, but I feel that give it some time. I think maybe two more quarters is what I'm assuming. After 2 more quarters, we should see pharmaceutical companies actually giving out very good result. Okay, I'm just going down and checking, just looking for pharmaceutical companies that we can check. Whoever has given the result out, I'm looking at them. There are some companies that have come out with the result. This is an easier way to just find the result as well. We just do this. Sanofi has come out with one of the results. So Sanofi's result, as you can see, is bad. So I don't even need to go to Sanofi, right? It's not a good result at all. Cipla came out with the result, which is quite good actually. Cipla's result is not bad at all. Sales are up, EBITDA is up, net profits up, EPS is up. So Cipla's result is quite good. Gujarat Themis, Piramal Pharma's result is very good, but I think something's off because of their EBITDA margin. EBITDA looks weird. Something is definitely off on the EBITDA side. Okay. Who else came out with the result? Glenmark is here. Bad result by Glenmark. I think Glenmark came with the result that was not good. I think Syngene came with the result, and I think Laurus also came with the result. I think most of these companies did not give any good result, right? But the stocks have started going up. Okay, like for example, Laurus went up 3.5. I mean, Laurus is right down there, so it is on the lower end of the channel, so it's making a slight move upwards. but I know the result was not great, even from a year on year perspective or from a quarter on quarter perspective. The result was not good. But I think a lot of people listen to the con call which happened on the weekend. It's not come here, but it's already come on YouTube. So I think con call sunke people have realized that there is some scope and there is some future growth there. But again, guys, I am not a very big fan of it as of today, only because I've burnt my hands a little bit in Lotus, right? So I'm going to wait for proof, and I'm going to wait for proof for all the pharmaceutical companies, not just one or two, but all. I feel the growth is going to come maybe after 2 quarters. After 2 quarters, we'll start seeing good results. After that, I think I would be very comfortable to Natco Pharma. Let's check. Wow, this is a nice chart. Did they give a result out? No, result's not out. But we'll wait for the result. Okay. I am Torrent. This is a little overvalued also. Even I know it's going up quite a bit. Oh, they came out with the result. Actually, a very good result. It is a good result. Torrent is doing well. Look at this. Look at this. It's a big group company also, Torrent, by the way. This is a Torrent group is quite big. Torrent Power, Torrent Pharma is the similar group. So they're doing actually well. So these group companies are actually doing very well going forward. Yeah. But yeah, just want to show you guys about this. Today's main session was to understand what is happening with the market, which sector is going up right now. Banking sector is not going to do well because of some change in rules, but pharmaceutical sector has now become the key buzz in the market. If you look at sector rotations, I think pharmaceutical sector is now starting to go up slowly, and this is starting to do really well going forward, right? So this is something you should definitely keep your eye out for, and I would suggest be careful on banking sector. There is some rules that have come in the banking sector that the government has changed, which will negatively impact banks over time. Now their margins will start falling down, everything will start doing really bad. So be very, very, very careful. If you want to understand what it is, just Google banks LCR. Okay. Let me actually share the link with you guys for all the people who want to learn. Just go read this link. You might not understand anything, but I've shared this link with you. Just go read this link. You might not understand anything, but you will understand that banks are now going to get screwed a little bit going forward. And that is something that you will definitely have to see. Yeah. Okay. One second. Okay, guys. So two things you guys have to do. First, most of you guys have not clicked the like button. So I would appreciate if all of you guys click the like button. So I would also like it if you click the like button, number one. And number two, I'm doing a masterclass today at 4 p.m. For all the people who have never attended it or are not a part of the 1% club, can definitely come and visit the masterclass as well today. It is at 4 p.m. So I will see you guys there. Today I have a very busy day, so this was a quick update for all you guys of what is happening in the market. We're currently not moving too much. We're very close to 25,000, so I'm going to wait and see if we crack 25,000 or not. But continue your SIPs. Don't get too worried about SIPs. Any kind of lump sum investment, I would say convert the lump sum also into an SIP. Don't do a massive lump sum if I was you, right? I would still stick to simple SIPs going forward and be happy with that. Okay? Chalo guys, this is me, Shashank Udupa, signing off. Take care. See you guys. Bye.